Alright, Hero Bowler's finally here. So let's put this absolute unit through 100 different interactions and see what he's really capable of. Hero Bowler might look unstoppable, but don't get too confident. Without using his ability, he really struggles against the 3 Musketeers. They take him down with ease and still manage to deal 612 damage to your tower. Sometimes knowing when to activate his ability is just as important as the interaction itself. Now, this is where Hero Bowler really shines. One well-timed ability wipes out all 3 Musketeers before they get any real value. Instead of struggling to defend, you completely shut down one of the most expensive pushes in the game. Hero Bowler doesn't even need any support here. A solo ability connects straight to the tower, dealing a massive 576 damage. That's a huge chunk of damage for simply pressing one button at the right time. This interaction is actually crazy. Hero Bowler's ability completely takes out a full health Archer Queen before she can get any real value. If your opponent isn't expecting it, that's an incredible trade in your favor. This is exactly why Hero Bowler is so dangerous. While I'm pressuring the right lane, Hero Bowler is creating pressure on the left at the same time. Suddenly, my opponent has to defend both lanes, completely stretching their Elixir and leaving them with no good answers. Once again, we're applying pressure in both lanes, but don't get too greedy. While Hero Bowler is locked onto the Inferno Tower and takes him out, it's a great split lane push. Just make sure you keep an eye on any counter pushing troops. This is one of my favorite interactions. Hero Bowler's ability takes just 2 shots to wipe out the Barbarians, and the best part, he's still alive afterwards, giving you a powerful counter push that your opponent now has to deal with. You don't always need Hero Bowler's ability. His regular attacks gets the job done too, taking out the Barbarians in just 3 boulders. Sometimes saving your ability for a bigger threat is the smarter play. Here's a clever counter to Hero Bowler. Boss troops can actually dodge every shot of his ability. Just place them on this tile with perfect timing and they'll kite the boulders onto the opposite lane, completely avoiding the damage. Here's a neat little trick. Even if your Hero Bowler is a tile off, don't panic. Just clone him and the clone gets pushed into range, letting it lock onto the tower. It's a simple interaction that can turn a small mistake into free tower damage. Here's something every Hero Bowler player should know. Any troop that jumps over the river will instantly retarget him. Keep that in mind because a well-timed jump can completely change the interaction. The Electro Dragon does a great job slowing Hero Bowler down. It chains just enough to limit him to only 2 shots before he stops. Even so, he still manages to deal 384 damage to the tower, proving just how threatening he can be. This is a really clever defense. Hero Bowler gets a hit on the tower, but the Electro Dragon's chain attack retargets him straight onto the Ice Golem instead. Just like that, his pressure is completely shut down. The Electro Giant is one of Hero Bowler's better counters. Every stun interrupts his ability, limiting him to just 2 shots before it's over. It's a small interaction, but it makes a huge difference. This is a really sneaky interaction. Hero Bowler is locked onto the tower, but one tiny Electro Spirit changes everything. The stun redirects him straight onto the Ice Golem, completely denying what would have been free tower damage. This is a smart way to stop Hero Bowler's pressure. He's locked onto the tower, but the Electro Wizard redirects him before he can keep attacking. He lands 1 shot onto the tower and 1 on the Electro Wizard, but now your opponent has a healthy Electro Wizard ready to launch a counter push. Don't rely on a center-placed bowler to stop elite Barbarians. He'll only kite one of them, while the other charges straight through and deals a massive 1,920 damage. Against this matchup, you definitely need some extra support. A single tile makes all the difference here. Instead of placing your bowler in the center, move him just 1 tile over. You'll pull both elite Barbarians, shut them down completely, and you'll even have a bowler left over for a strong counter push. Here's a useful exception. If the elite Barbarians are stacked with one running in front of the other, a center-placed bowler actually counters both of them completely. It's a small difference. Knowing this interaction can save you a ton of tower damage. Hero Bowler's ability makes this look easy. 3 shots are all it takes to completely shut down the elite Barbarians. And the best part, he survives the defense, giving you a powerful counter push to work with. The Evolution Mega Knight has a neat interaction here. Every time his punch knocks Hero Bowler back, it interrupts the ability just enough that he only gets 2 shots instead of 3. It's a subtle interaction, but it can make all the difference. This timing has to be perfect. Just as Hero Bowler is about to lock onto the tower, the Evolution Snowball knocks him back and pushes him out of range. 1 tiny push is all it takes to deny every single tower shot. Don't assume Hero Bowler is guaranteed tower damage. Even if he's already locked onto the tower, the Evolution Tesla stun redirects him straight onto itself. It's a simple interaction that completely shuts down his pressure. Here's a really useful Fisherman interaction. If you place him far enough away, you'll pull Hero Bowler before he can keep targeting the tower. That forces Hero Bowler to retarget onto the Fisherman instead, completely stopping the pressure. Nice try, but that king activation isn't happening. If your opponent tries to pull Hero Bowler with the Fisherman, his ability interrupts the play, preventing the king tower from activating altogether. Freeze works surprisingly well here. It cancels out 2 of Hero Bowler's shots, limiting the damage to just a single hit on your Princess Tower. Sometimes 1 well-timed spell is all you need. Now, this is what I call value. Just look at what Freeze, Tornado, and Hero Bowler's ability can do together. That entire push just disappears. It's like magic. And if the Giant somehow survives, simply drop Goblins to finish him off. You've completely shut down the push, gained a positive Elixir trade, and you're ready to launch a counter attack. This is a really clever counter. Hero Bowler's ability is already activated, but by placing a miner at the perfect time, he'll retarget onto it and waste every single shot. Instead of hitting your push, the entire ability gets soaked up by 1 cheap troop. This combo is absolutely filthy. One well-timed tornado groups everything together, letting Hero Bowler's ability get maximum value. It wipes out the supporting Musketeers, deals massive damage to the giant skeleton, and Hero Bowler still survives at the end. That's about as much value as you can ask for. If your opponent is kind enough to stack everything together, just say thank you. One activation of Hero Bowler's ability tears straight through the Giant, Sparky, and Wizard, getting unbelievable value. This is exactly why you should never clump your troops against Hero Bowler. Be careful with this interaction. Hero Bowler's ability locks onto the Giant first, but once the Giant and Wizard cross the river, the remaining boulders completely miss the Wizard. Since he's ranged, he stays at a safe distance and snipes Hero Bowler instead. Timing and positioning really matter here. Watch out for this one. Hero Bowler's ability is activated, but the moment he locks onto the tower, the evolution Goblin cage pulls him away. Not only do you waste the entire ability, but you're also left dealing with a counter-pushing Goblin brawler. That's a brutal swing in your opponent's favor. Here's a smart way around it. The evolution Goblin cage pulls Hero Bowler in and looks like it's completely stopped his ability. Just rocket the cage. Once it's gone, Hero Bowler is free to lock back onto the tower and continue firing like nothing happened. Goblinstein has a really clever interaction here. Just as Hero Bowler locks onto the tower, the Doctor's stun interrupts him, forcing him to retarget onto the monster instead. It's a simple way to completely deny the tower damage and turn the defense into a counter push. Hero Bowler's ability is basically a lightning spell in disguise. Keep a tank in front of him and he'll safely snipe buildings from behind, letting your tank soak up all the damage while he does the hard work. This interaction is absolutely insane. Your opponent tries to activate the King Tower with the Fisherman, but perfectly placed tornado ruins the entire setup. Activate Hero Bowler's ability, and not only does the King activation fail, but the boulders also splash both the Princess Tower and the Fisherman for incredible value. Here's a really satisfying combo. Your opponent drops a mini Pekka to stop the Golem, but a quick tornado pulls it right next to the tower. Then activate Hero Bowler's ability and every shot hits the mini Pekka while splashing straight onto the Princess Tower for massive value. Here's another interaction to watch out for. Hero Bowler's ability is already activated, but the Hero Giant's punch knocks him into the other lane, interrupting one of his shots. Instead of landing all three, Hero Bowler only gets two, making this a surprisingly effective counter. Hero Knight has a great answer to this. Even if Hero Bowler is already locked onto the tower, one activation from Hero Knight redirects him straight onto the Knight instead. It's a simple ability, but it completely denies the tower damage. Don't expect Hero Bowler to stop a Hog Rider on his own. Without using his ability, the Hog still sneaks through for 317 damage. If you want a full shutdown, you need a little extra support. You'd expect Hero Bowler's ability to stop the Hog Rider, but it still isn't enough. Even with the ability activated, the Hog breaks through for 634 damage. Against Hog Rider, don't rely on Hero Bowler alone. You still need extra support. Don't underestimate the Ice Golem. For just 2 Elixir, it can kite Hero Bowler's entire ability, wasting every single shot. That's incredible value, and a simple trick every player should know. Here's another way Hero Bowler shuts down a King activation. Your opponent tries to use an Ice Spirit to pull the boulder towards the King Tower. Hero Bowler's ability completely ruins the setup. The King never activates, leaving your opponent empty-handed. The The Ice Wizard is surprisingly effective here. His slow effect reduces Hero Bowler's ability to just 2 shots instead of 3. It's a small interaction, but it can save your tower from a lot of extra damage. Here's an easy way to activate your King Tower. If Hero Bowler's ability is activated, just place skeletons right beside the King Tower. The boulders will splash through the skeletons and activate your King for an incredible 1 Elixir trade. Here's a simple but effective counter. As soon as Hero Bowler activates his ability, use the log to push him back out of range. That tiny knockback is enough to stop him from hitting the tower at all. Want even more damage? A mirrored Hero Bowler ability hits even harder, dealing a massive 633 damage to the tower. If your opponent can't stop it, that's some serious value for 1 activation. Don't activate Hero Bowler's ability into a monk. The monk's ability reflects every single boulder right back at you, completely wasting your ability and turning your own attack against you. Mortar players love using an Ice Golem as protection, but here's how to beat it. Simply tornado the Ice Golem away, and Hero Bowler instantly locks back onto the mortar, shutting it down with ease. Here's something to keep in mind. If there's nothing in range when Hero Bowler activates his ability, you won't throw a single boulder. Make sure there's always a target, otherwise you waste the entire ability. Don't think your Elixir collector is safe. Hero Bowler can snipe it from a distance with his ability, getting free value without ever needing to walk up to it. Your Elixir collector isn't always doomed. A well-timed tornado pulls Hero Bowler out of range, stopping him from ever locking onto the pump. It's a simple play that completely denies the value from his ability. Here's another easy counter. Just as Hero Bowler is about to snipe the Elixir collector, use the log to knock him back out of range. 1 small push is all it takes to completely deny the value from his ability. Evolution Snowball works just as well. A perfectly timed knockback pushes Hero Bowler out of range of the Elixir collector, stopping him from getting any value. Sometimes 1 little push is all you need. Your opponent thinks the opposite lane is free damage, but they're in for a surprise. Activate Hero Bowler's ability and he'll reach every single Royal Hog from across the arena. You still take around 740 damage, but completely shutting down the push is well worth the trade. Hero Bowler gives it everything he's got, but Royal Hogs still break through. Even after the defense, you still take 666 damage. It's a solid defense, but don't expect Hero Bowler to shut this interaction down on his own. Without his ability, Hero Bowler just can't keep up. He does his best to slow down the Royal Hogs, but they still break through for a massive 888 damage. This is definitely a matchup where you want to save that ability. Here's a really interesting interaction. Since Hero Bowler has to split his attacks between 2 targets, the Rune Giant buffs his very first ability shot instead. That boosted boulder deals a massive 412 damage to the tower before Hero Bowler continues with the rest of the interaction. Here's another unique Rune Giant interaction. Since Hero Bowler doesn't hit anything at first, the Rune Giant saves the buff for his 3rd ability shot instead. It's a subtle mechanic, but knowing how the buff works can make a big difference. Hero Bowler's ability won't take out a Sparky on its own, but it's still enough. Princess Tower finishes off the remaining health, while Hero Bowler survives the interaction. Not only do you stop the Sparky, but also end up with a healthy counter push. Without your Princess Tower helping out, this interaction changes completely. Hero Bowler's ability deals plenty of damage, but not quite enough to finish the Sparky. In the end, they simply take each other out, leaving neither player with a counter push. This is a really clever interaction. The opponent places a Tesla next to the Princess Tower, hoping to activate the King Tower, but Hero Bowler's ability completely ruins the setup, hitting the Tesla while splashing the Princess Tower at the same time. Talk about turning the defense against them. Timing is everything here. A perfectly timed tornado pulls Hero Bowler back just before he locks onto the tower, completely denying the ability. One spell is all it takes to stop what would have been 3 tower damage. Don't panic if you're a little late. Once Hero Bowler's ability is activated, he will eventually retarget onto the tank, giving you plenty of time to react. Just drop any distraction, like a Valkyrie, and you completely pull him away from the tower. It's a forgiving interaction once you know how it works. Don't give up just because Hero Bowler locks onto your tower. A quick Ice Spirit resets his attack, then you can drop a tank like a Valkyrie to pull him away. Instead of eating all 3 shots, you only take 1 on the tower while the second hits your tank. That's a huge damage reduction. You don't always need a reset troop. A simple log is enough to knock Hero Bowler back, forcing him to retarget onto your tank instead. It's an easy trick that can save your tower from taking the full 3 shots. Don't underestimate Hero Bowler's regular attack. Even without using his ability, he completely shuts down the Valkyrie and Mini Pekka combo, then walks away with a healthy counter push. Sometimes saving the ability is the better play. Using the ability isn't always the better option. Hero Bowler still stops the Valkyrie and Mini Pekka, but this time he takes so much extra damage that his counter push barely has any health left. Sometimes saving the ability gives you the stronger follow-up. Here's an important mechanic to remember. Hero Bowler might be attacking the Tesla, but the moment you activate his ability, he will instantly retarget onto the closest troop instead. In this case, it's the Valkyrie. His ability always prioritizes the nearest target, even if he was attacking something else before. Here's another easy way to stop Hero Bowler. Even if he's already locked onto the tower, a simple zap resets his attack. Once he's stunned, he will immediately retarget onto the closest troop instead, completely denying the rest of the tower damage. Don't overlook the vines. They stop one of Hero Bowler's 3 ability shots, cutting down his damage for almost no cost. It's a small interaction that can make a big difference. Expo players love hiding behind an Ice Golem, but here's the counter. Just tornado the Ice Golem away, and Hero Bowler locks straight onto the Expo. 3 ability shots completely shut it down, and you're left with a healthy Hero Bowler ready to launch a counter push. Don't waste your zap here. If there's nothing nearby for Hero Bowler to retarget onto, the reset does absolutely nothing. He'll simply lock straight back onto the tower and fire all 3 ability shots anyway. Zappies are surprisingly effective here. Their stuns keep resetting with Hero Bowler's attack, letting him land just 1 shot on the tower. Then once you surround him with the Zappies, his second shot gets redirected, and before he can fire the third, they finish him off, leaving you with a surviving Zappy ready to counter push. And that's 100 Hero Bowler interactions. Hopefully you learned something new, whether it was a hidden mechanic, a useful counter, or a trick that will help you win more games. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Clash Royale content. And if I missed any cool Hero Bowler interactions, let me know in the comments. I read every single one. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.